Hi folks, Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Current blog post we want to share with you, of course, the latest in social media and technology. This is the newest, latest, and greatest phone out for the Nokia through Verizon Wireless. You can go to the website at verizonwireless.com. It's verizonwireless.com. It's the Nokia Lumia 928. Definitely a beautiful and well-built expansion or successor model to the Nokia Lumia 920, and this is specifically built for Verizon. So you can check it out, like I said, on their website at verizonwireless.com. Let's get into this phone and what it's really about. It takes much better pictures, I feel, over the 920, and the 920 is a good camera. It's got a beautiful screen, of course, that you're used to with the Nokia Lumia series, but I love the body on it. It's a little bit lighter on the feel of the body, and it has kind of this squared, rounded back effect. Kind of a xenon flash, if you will. We'll get into that a little bit later. And a much better speaker that says it's pretty much a very loud smartphone. So we'll test that out here as we go through the device. But I definitely like the build of it and the feel of it and everything else. Definitely is an improvement, I think, in a lot of ways over the original 920. So let's take a look at some of the breakdown of this. Its dimensions are 5.24 inches in height, 2.71 in width, and 0.40 in thickness. The weight is 5.75 ounces, and I believe that's less than the 920. I believe the 920 was in the 6 ounce range. Now, it's got Windows 8, of course, with it. You've got the live tiles, live apps, all that sort of good stuff. The memory in it is 32 gigabytes internal, and the processor is a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor with 1 gigabyte of RAM. The display is 4.5 inch screen. It's got a Pure Motion HD OLED display, 24 bits, 16.7 million colors through Corning Gorilla Glass 2. It's got a beautiful screen, like I say, and let's see. It's also got the battery is 2,000 milliamp hours on the battery. Now, it also has an NFC chip, of course, to it. On the camera, you're looking at a rear-facing camera of 8.7 megapixels, and it's a pure view camera with autofocus, Carl Zeiss Tessar lens, and a xenon flash, of course, like we mentioned earlier. It's got a really great camera to it, and from the pictures we tested against the 920, we felt like the 928 was definitely an improvement. The front-facing camera is a 1.2 megapixel camera. You're looking at, of course, 30 frames per second with HD video out the back, and that's 1080p. Out the front, you're looking at 720p at 30 frames per second. It's got Bluetooth, of course, music streaming, all the normal stuff that you would expect out of a device of this type. So, you've got the top here, you've got your speaker, you've got your front-facing camera, you've got the beautiful, of course, large screens that you find with most of the Lumia products. On the very bottom in the middle, you've got the Windows capacitive touchscreen button. To the left of it, you have the arrow button, and then you also have the search button over here. It's got a quick, easy, and free menu to it, of course. You can easily page down through stuff. You can also have your live tiles, of course, and things going on here that you can take and customize the size and everything else. Many people like this format, and it can be fairly good. It's got Windows 8 on it, which many people do like, and of course you can easily get into the different functions through the front menu. Taking pictures, whatever the case may be. Let's take a look at the App Store. The App Store is starting to grow. From what we've been told, or what's rumored about right now, is that Windows is actually paying developers to make apps for it. And so they're growing their App Store little by little, and it's making pretty good inroads in the size of apps that are out there. But normally with Windows, you have this very big menu item that you see here. It's very fast, very responsive. It's a 1.5 gigahertz processor, which isn't too bad. There's 1.7s and 1.9s on the market right now, but it does a good job for the Windows 8 and what's running on it. You, of course, have Verizon and their sound quality for phones and everything else. Across the top, what we're looking at is you've got a area here that's for the that's for your earphone jack. You've got your SIM card tray, charging area, you've got one of the microphones. Down the left side, there really isn't anything. Across the bottom, nothing here. And across the right side, you've got your volume up and down rocker button, your power button, and you have your camera shutter button where you can take and press that to activate the camera. On the back, you have a small microphone facing, for what you're going to be recording. You have your xenon flash, which is pretty good here. You have of course, your camera eye, and then of course you have a very large, powerful speaker. And what's nice is it kind of sits down at the end where the phone rises up, so you can at least get a little bit of sound in it without having it muffled if it's sitting flat. I think it's really good and it comes from the hands. I love the feel of it. It feels less bricky than the Nokia Lumia 920. Although I do like the Nokia Lumia 920 in its face as being a Windows phone. You of course have Bing on here and everything else. It's very responsive and does a good job at being able to pull stuff up, rock and roll, and everything else. Let's see what we can get here. Alright, looks like we're going through a few different menus, but it seems to load fairly well. I think we're at the end of our Wi-Fi range, so you're going to see a little bit of slowness in here. That's the blame for where we are on the end of our Wi-Fi range. And in fact, some of this may be coming from Verizon for all I know. So let's go ahead and click back through here. Okay, so let's take a look at the pictures that the Nokia takes. Now, it takes really beautiful color pictures. It's got a great camera to it. It also does really good in low light situations. This is a completely dark room that's shot with the flash and the xenon flash, if you will. And the xenon flash does a really good job at blowing out the area with light and getting a good picture. Not too good on the details, though, on the areas here. I've seen other cameras that we have where you can get really good details, but it does fill the room with light, as you can see. It's got a very bright flash to it, and it does okay. There's better than a lot of cameras that are out there on the market. Let's put it that way. Most can't even light the room very well like this, let alone get a decent shot. Here you can see we're in the same room in the complete darkness. Not as impressed with the camera lamp during video playing. This is really not that great of a lamp. So we're very kind of disappointed in that way. We expected more actually out of the Nokia, which is really surprising. So not a really great lamp when it comes to completely dark settings. Now in low light you might be okay. You can see that it gets pretty good detail on focusing in on a few things there. But like I said, it's just not really that great of a lamp that lights up for video. It does great for taking pictures in low light, but not for video, which was disappointing. Here's a really close-up shot. We're doing almost a macro shot of a lemon. You can see here it gets really good detail and comes out really well in the photo shot with the lemon. It's got an impressive camera to it. The 920 had a really impressive camera. It was better than most cameras that we found on the market. The 928 is actually a little bit better than the 920 in our opinion. Okay, so all in all, we're very impressed with the phone. It's a beautiful phone. If you love the Windows products, this is definitely a must-have phone for the Windows products, especially if you're on the Verizon, of course, system where this phone is exclusively made for them. It's a beautiful, exceptional phone. And if you love Windows, you're not into the Android or OS departments, I'd highly recommend as the phone you should pick up right now on the Windows product in the Verizon marketplace. Be sure to check it out. You can go to VerizonWireless.com. That's VerizonWireless.com. Tell them Chris Voss sent you. Chris Voss tested, Chris Voss approved. Be sure to check into the ChrisVossShow.com often into all the latest and greatest software that we can take and bring you. And be sure to give us a like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for coming by the ChrisVossShow.com. Be sure to check back in often.